Hey guys, hope everyone is doing well. We are continuing our Unit 4 review. This is our last day. We are reviewing our trig ratios in Unit 4.5. I'm going to try to keep this video relatively brief because we just did this. And if you are still struggling with trig ratios, if you didn't really get it the first time around, I need you to pause this video, go and reference the lectures from last week when I taught it the first time, watch those, and then come back because this is not going to be super comprehensive. It's supposed to be a refresher. So it's not going to really teach you the material in the way that you need, if you didn't get it the first time. But if you did get it the first time, then this is the right place to be for a review. So as a summary, trig ratios exist to help us find missing sides and angle measurements in right triangles. We have three primary ratios: sine, cosine, and tangent. Sine being the ratio of the opposite leg to the hypotenuse. Cosine being the ratio of the adjacent leg to the hypotenuse. And tangent being the ratio of the opposite leg to the adjacent leg. And I actually think our device here, I think it's called a mnemonic device. Is that what this is? I don't know. Okay. I think it's really helpful. And I recommend writing it down anytime you're doing practice problems or on your unit test. So the big thing I want you to be able to do with this is use trig ratios to find missing side and angle measurements. So as a review, this is how you do that. Let me actually pick a good one to work on. Hold on. I'm looking for something in specific. Okay, I think 6 would be good. All right. My apologies if I've already done this, but either way, it's, going to be a good review for you. So when you're finding missing side or angle measurements, you're going to highlight the angle in question. That's either the unknown angle, if that's what you're looking for, or the angle that, has a number on it. So in this case, we're looking for the side. The angle is 43 degrees. We highlight it, and then we label all of the sides that are relevant to this angle. You can label the other one, but just know that that's not relevant. All right, so here, x is the hypotenuse and 36 is adjacent. So the one that's not relevant to us is opposite. All right, so we then need to find the ratio that deals with adjacent and hypotenuse. So if you weren't sure, make sure you were referencing SOHCAHTOA, right? And you can see that it's cosine. So cosine of 43 equals the adjacent leg, 36, over the hypotenuse of x. As a reminder, it's always the ratio of the angle. So cosine of 43 equals adjacent over hypotenuse. Don't be alarmed if x is in the denominator. In this case, I actually wanted x to be in the denominator. That's why I picked this problem, all right? And make sure that your fraction is set up correctly. If you have x over 36, the whole thing is going to be wrong. All right, so then we just set up to cross multiply. So 36 equals x times tangent of 43. Now we're isolating x. Right now x is being multiplied by something, so we want to divide it. And then all we do in our calculators is 36 over the tangent of 43. Before you do that, I want to draw your attention to what it says up here. Make sure your calculator is in degree mode. It can be found in your settings. There are quite a few people who reached out to me and said, I've been doing these problems correctly, but I'm getting the wrong answer. And 9 times out of 10, that's because your calculator is in radians. And it's just like a different unit of measure, right? Like if you're talking about length and the problem is working in centimeters and you're working in inches, you're going to get the wrong answer. So it's, you just need to make sure that you are in degrees. Okay, so I am going to grab my calculator and we're going to plug in 36 divided by tangent, and it's going to open the parentheses of 43, close the parentheses, and we get 38.6. Before we say we're finished, we have to check for reasonableness. And x is our hypotenuse. We know that the hypotenuse is the longest side of a right triangle, and 38.6 is larger than 36, so we are good. If, for example, we aren't talking about a hypotenuse and we're just talking about two legs, opposite and adjacent, you don't have that check to go based off of, or is it smaller than the hypotenuse? So you just need to use common sense, right? And if it's a really, really small number or a really big number or doesn't look proportional according to the triangle, then just take a look at it and see if you made a mistake. All right, so make sure you're able to do this type of thing for all of the ratios. I want to do the same thing now, but for finding a missing angle, and I don't want to do cosine. So let's do, again, number 6. We are on page 5 here. All right, so same type of approach. You're going to highlight the angle and identify the sides. The hypotenuse is not being used. Opposite is 7, adjacent is 5, and the ratio that deals with opposite and adjacent is tangent. And again, tangent of the angle. Just because the angle is unknown does not mean it's wrong to put the x there, right? You're never going to say tangent of a side. It's always the ratio of the angle. So tangent of x equals opposite 7 over adjacent 5. Again, this is really important that your fraction's correct. And then here is when we use the inverse. So I had a couple people reaching out to me saying that they're confused about when to use the inverse versus the normal ratio. The answer is that you always use the inverse when you're solving for an angle. You always use the regular ratio when you're solving for a side. So all you do in your calculator is just press shift or your second function, and then press tangent, because when you do the shift, it takes you to the button right above it. So the inverse tangent of 7 divided by 5 is 54.46, so 54.5. And again, check for reasonableness. As I said in our original lecture, because we are talking about triangles, we know that the sum of degrees is 180, right? So keep that in mind. But also, one of our angles is 90 degrees, meaning the other two, these two together, have to add up to 90. So it has to be a number less than 90, and you have to be logical, right? 89 is not feasible, right? If the other, look at these two angles, they look pretty, pretty equal. So 54.5 seems like a good assessment of that angle. It seems like it could be accurate, or reasonable rather. All right, so that is what I want you to be able to do. I do want you to be able to draw diagrams based on angle of elevation and depression, but those are pretty straightforward, so I'm not going to do an example on how to draw them. Once you draw them, then the actual completion is what we just did. If you have any questions, really, really, really important that you're asking me. The IXL that's assigned is the same one that you have already worked through. I know that. But I still want you spending more time on it. If you already have a really high score on that and you feel like that would be a waste of your time, then go ahead and email me, let me know, and I will provide you some additional work. But if you think that you can get more out of the IXL by spending 20 more minutes on it, then that's what I would like you to do. But, if you have a high A on it, then let me know when I will get you something to do. Code word for today, man, I meant to put this somewhere in the middle of the video today. Code word for today is chicken, because that's what I just ate for dinner. A few of you have actually been reaching out and using the code words, and I love it. Quickly, I just want to say that this is the last time I'll be talking to you until your unit test. I will be posting the signups for Monday and Tuesday today, Thursday. I'm filming this on Wednesday, your today. And I will also be giving you the specifics on how much IXL time you need in order to earn your notes. You most certainly do not have to do the IXL. I hope that every single person does, because it is a really great opportunity for you to practice. So I hope you do. But know that you have to in order to use your notes. That's what I meant. I didn't mean to say you don't have to. You have to in order to use your notes. Anyways, I'm tired and I'm rambling and not making any sense. So please let me know if you have any questions. I'm not giving you any new information or review materials on Friday, but I'm giving you time to just catch up if you either need to do some more Excel in order to earn your notes, or if you've already done that, but you just know that you need to brush up on a few certain skills. That's what you have Friday to do. I look forward to seeing your faces for our unit test, and please make sure that your computers and everything are all ready to go for that, because you are going to need, I'm going to need to be able to see you for that test in order to proctor you. But yeah, that's about it. Happy studying, guys.